Question will be, who was he traded for? But okay, very good. All right, he played with Montreal 1979 through 1982. Bill started 2 games in 1975 World Series, and in 3 consecutive years there with the Red Sox, he won 17 games. That's quite a feat just in itself there. Those of you that have been here for a number of years, you may recall Bill was here December 10th, 1991, and then he was here again November 6th, 1995. Back then, he was nicknamed Spaceman. Today, the new phrase is Earth. With that, I'd like to welcome Bill Lee.
Thanks, guys. You know, I came here to give a speech and a card show broke out. You get no respect, no. I've been here, I guess they were telling me 5 times. I don't remember 2 of them. But, you know, I go to big banquets and I go all over and I go to fancy hotels. But those were the best pierogies and the best cabbage. I like this. I thought I was in Thunder Bay, Alberta, or Ontario, at the Polish American Society up there. I like that kind of food. I like kielbasa. I like shoveling food. And thanks for having me. It was really great. Bill Lee's son's here, huh? He wrote the greatest article about me. You know, when I got shelved in '78, he wrote an article called Bill Lee's No Quitter. And it was really nice that people were sticking up for me when I was going through my hard times back there when I got benched. And, you know, I protested. I had that one-day protest where I walked out. It was a slow day, I guess, because I was on the front cover of the Globe. I was on the back page of the Herald. And, I had my arm up in solidarity, and I thought I was in the '68 Olympics or something. And helicopters were flying around my house, and it was a rough day, you know. And but the people stuck up for me, and a lot of the papers stuck up for me and stuff. And I remember I came back. They got rid of Bernie Carbo, and I walked out. People don't realize I didn't play that day. I had pitched before and got beaten in a tough ball game. And I walked out on my off day, which is a day that I don't work anyway, so why go to the park? You know? Stay home and sober up. So I hold out. The next day I ended up running to the ballpark. I remember I had my cutoff shorts from the Army, and I ran to the ballpark, and I get up there, and Haywood Sullivan brings me in, and Mrs. Rocky's in the back room. It was like I was in the Bates Motel. She was just rocking back and forth. And he goes, you know, you don't make policy around here. You can't walk out. You can't take a day off anytime you want. And I said, well, I wasn't playing anyway. And he says, you know how much we're going to fine you? We're going to fine you a day's pay. And I said, how much is that? He said, $500. I said, well, make it $1,500. Give me the weekend off. So I'm going to be, Jim Longboard's going to be sandwiched between me and Bobby Richardson, huh? Okay, I got a trivia question. What hills did Jim Longboard fall off in 1968? Remember he had a knee injury? Came back.
Right. Bunker.
No, he fell off of Jill St. John.
It's a mountain in California.
This guy's
You won't believe this, but that's a
heads
true
low.
story. He gets all blush. He's the shyest, nicest guy. He gets all. I got called up to the big leagues in '69 because he fell off his motorcycle coming. He was out with some nurse about 12 o'clock at night and slid on some wet pavement, tore up his leg, and they called me up the next day. And if it wasn't for him falling off, I probably wouldn't be here now. Or the other 5 years I've been here. I come here all the time, and it reminds me of my parish. It's St. Isabella's Parish. It's got the same architecture, about the same height, and the priest stands right about here. Great to be a Catholic. Rehab is for quitters. Well, I got no friends anymore. They'll quit drinking, now they drinking Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, and smoke Marlboro Lights. And they go, I got a problem. Have a beer. Anyway, Bobby Richards says, next trivia question. What university does he coach at?
South Carolina. South Carolina?
Close.
North Carolina.
Jerry Falwell University.
Oh, no.
He's a Falwell. He's a Bible thumper, man. He's a born again. Hey, first time, I couldn't be born again because the first time I almost killed my mother. I'm not the same Jim. Well, that's about all I have to talk about. You know, it's the middle of nowhere. And I went, yes. I said, I had problems with drinking. I had a bar up in Montreal, and I had a bar in Boston. So I found this halfway house. Called Vermont. And I mean, if you forget something as much as I forgot in my life, you forget to get a six-pack one time, and all of a sudden you sober up. It's a great state. I like it. It's middle of nowhere. You know, it's quiet. You saw the picture right there. It was in the Globe. After that came out, I had to move. I mean, I've had people marching up my hill. I had a bunch of Cubans come up my hill on bicycles, and I had a Cuban flag outside. And they turned around and went home because they weren't from. They were actually from Miami. Yeah, it's a great little community. I live up there in the mountains, the middle of nowhere. Still playing ball. I got my own bat company. I have the old bat company. I make bats that are as good as Barry Bonds' bat. Bobby ain't with us anymore. He smoked too much, so that's one thing. Tobacco and those things, that'll kill you and stuff. So stay away from that. You know, my son, he chews and he dips in that. He goes, Dad, when should I stop? I said, you stop, son, when you put your chew in and it falls on your shoe. And he's tough. I got 3 grandsons. I got 1 granddaughter. So I got 8 Lees out there, and there's a bunch of Lees here. There's Lees all over this place. You know, we're doing all right. You know, we're keeping the planet going and stuff. And anyway, the way the price of gas is going to be. You know, I think I want to open up. I want Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I want to get in with them. I want to get in with all the restaurateurs and the bar owners in Hartford. And I want to have free shuttle service back to your house. That'll increase restaurateur, drinking in downtown and everything else. And we'll use Toyota Priuses. You know, and you don't know how far those electric cords go anyway. But it'll get you home. I'm always ahead of the paradigm. I'm always thinking out there. And that's basically what's got me in trouble most of my career. But look, you got, I was going to hold this for just a second. Player quiz, who is it? Good. It's now the new one, the new Pete Gray. No, it's Johnny Damon. Throw it. So far so much cannon fodder, it's unbelievable. You know? I'm still celebrating from 2004. I can't believe we made it as far as we did, as hammered as we was all year. You noticed. Yeah, I never threw that hard. But, you know, I don't know, I'm not doing too much. I've been unemployable since '82. I tried to get in the Red Sox Hall of Fame, but they took Jerry Remy instead of me. But I don't sell Fenway Franks all over the planet and stuff like that. Now, you know, a load of horse shit fell on Interstate 91 yesterday, and Remy was on the side of the road selling that too. Then I come into the Red Sox organization, and Fisk starts maturing, coming along and stuff. He wasn't that good really early, but he got better later on. Pretty good offense. And then I go to Gary Carter at the end of my career. So, you know, I had great catchers. Except they all could catch me with a Kleenex. You know, actually, I forget the guy. His name was Frank Thomas, I think. I was reading it. He was the greatest catcher. Played for St. Louis and Philadelphia and stuff. He wasn't even a catcher. But he would go out and see these hard-throwing kids, and he would bet them that he could catch them barehanded. And he caught every one of them barehanded. He'd say to the kid, he says, hey, go down and warm up. You know, I want you warmed up. He goes, no, I'll throw like this. And then, you know, and then he'll throw one to him, he'll catch it like that, barehanded. Boom. He said, I told you, son, go down and warm up. I said, I knew you were going to say this. So he'd go down and warm up, and he'd throw 4 more. He'd catch them like that. You know, I mean, there's a lot of great characters that played this game way before me. And that's a great thing about baseball. Baseball is just the, you know, in the old days and stuff, you had that. You know who he said? This is funny. My number one nemesis. He was not my nemesis. I really liked the guy, actually, and then he just turned around and didn't like me. But the hardest thrower he ever caught was a guy named Don Zimmer. Zimmer really had a gun when he was younger and stuff. And Zimmer knew. Zimmer's smart. He's a smart baseball man and everything. And he went out and he threw him, and what he did was he got really loose. He went over and he threw a big spitball. And he threw a spitter to him because he knew it would be breaking down, and it's hard to catch. It's easy to catch a rising fastball barehanded, you know, if you got a really big mitts and you're strong. But the hardest thing to catch is a sinker, a spitter, something that's really using gravity and going harder. And he threw him a nasty spitter once, and he caught it. He says that's the hardest ball he ever caught in his life. You know, and Zimmer, I don't know, he should have him speak here because, you know, you got to hear from the other side every once in a while. But I really liked Zimmer. I loved him as a coach. My dad loved him. He played for the '58 Los Angeles Dodgers. First game I ever saw, you know, opening day was in Dodgers. Actually, it was in the LA Coliseum. Who was the starting pitcher opening day? Carl Erskine. Who was the center fielder?
Snyder.
Close. Demeter just got called up from Minnesota. Gino Samoli. Yeah, so I got it all written down. I got it on there. I got it. They traded pitchers. McCormick started for the Giants. Dodgers won. Who was the winning pitcher? Rhode Island. Clem Levine. Very good. Roger Craig was on that team, but it was Clem Levine from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. So, you know, baseball's in my family. I went all the way back. I am the fourth generation. I'm the 5th generation born in LA. I'm the 3rd in a row to play pro ball. And my son played for the Red Sox in Lowell, so that's 4 generations of league. And then my oldest boy's got 2 boys, and one of them is a can't miss. I mean, people go to fairs and they pay the kid to throw at the dunk tank. And he was only 7 years old. And he picked 5 balls, 5 beanbags, throw it right through the cloud, steal all the prize. He's like me, he can't break a pane of glass, but boy, he can hit the edges really well. And so I play, I still play. I have to play this year. I didn't want to play this year, but I hit a home run in the father-son championship down in November, just this year, and my son came up and hit a home run before me, and they left the pitcher in, and I got to a 3-1 count, and I hit a ball just as far as he did over the right center field fence with the same bat. That's the oldbatcompany.com. That was a 33-32 big knob Excalibur, beautiful bat, and I gave it to my son. So, but if I hit a home run in any given year, I have to hit one more. Yes.
Same bat you used in Pawtucket to hit the home run?
No, the Pawtucket, I used a traditional bat. I used a Miramichi Masher 33-31. And I came out and I didn't loosen up, but I threw batting practice, and then I took 5 Advil. And I sat down in my yoga position, and I did my stretching, where I stretch out all my ways, I pop all my joints, I relax, I loosen up, and then I came out and I had a great batting practice picture, and I think I hit 3 out of 7 balls out of the ballpark. And they challenged me to a ball game. We're going to do a benefit ball game in Pawtucket, and he's going to put together a bunch of football players, and then I'm going to put together a bunch of ex-Red Sox, Sam Horn, me, and a bunch of other guys, and we'll just go out and kick their ass. Great athlete. He can dunk. He can beat me in basketball. He can beat me in football. He can beat me in ping pong. He can beat me in golf. He can beat me in everything. But you just can't beat a ball player in baseball. You know, you look at it. Who was the greatest athlete you ever saw come down the line? Michael Jordan. 112 hitter. You know, I'm telling you, it don't matter how good you are, how good an athlete you are, the hardest thing in the world is to hit a round ball squarely when the guy's throwing 92 and he might be like a little bit nuts like Joaquin Andujar. Who was J.R. Richards? You want to talk about courage. Courage is going up with a hangover. You're in Houston, and you're hitting against J.R. Richards that doesn't know where the hell the ball's going. That's courage, you know? Because he'll throw the ball behind you. You don't know where it's going. But you know one thing, he'll always make a mistake, and usually his ball's pretty straight. And that's me. I sit on that low fastball. Anything above my belt, I don't swing at anymore. You know, and eventually you're going to throw me a low heater or hang me a breaking ball, I'm going to knock your ass off. Swinging the bat. The first thing you do is to put both hands on the bat and try to hit the living shit out of it. You know, you swing from your ass, and you turn your hips, and you try and hit home runs. Well, they got him off the plate, they got his hands up, they got him trying to hit the ball the other way like Dwight Evans did at the end of his career. You know, and I mean, that's all right, but if you can't hit the fastball dead red on the inside corner going 90 miles an hour, you think us pitchers aren't smart enough that the word's going to get around? Kids that are growing up, keeping their hands inside the ball, you know, not getting jammed, learning how to swing a wood bat. Anybody know how big was Richie Allen's bat when he played?
Big one,
40
35.
ounces. Richie Allen, 40 ounces. Dick McAuliffe, when he was in a slump, went to a 36 ounce bat. Just hit with his hands, got off the plate, kept his hands inside the ball. Frank Robinson. You could not throw the ball by Frank Robinson inside. You couldn't. You could not get the ball by him. You know, and you've got to learn that way. You've got to learn that way. And then you adjust and adapt to the off-speed stuff by keeping your hands back. And then you hang a change up to Richie Allen, which I did in Chicago. Seriously, sat on a whoopee cushion. Get some fart spray for the cell phone. You can have a real party favor there. You want to buy that? Yeah, I don't own a cell phone. Cell phones do not work in Vermont. They do not work in my driveway. I just sat up and yell into the house. They just don't work. So we're going to get our first antennas and towers up there, but that won't work. Where was I? I'm hitting. Keeping your hands inside the ball. You know, and adjusting, keeping your hands back, like Freddie Lynn. You throw Freddie Lynn a curveball, his hands are back. His body may be committed, but his hands are right here, and then wham! Great breaking ball hitter. most Latinos are good breaking ball hitters. It's hard to throw. It's tough to throw hard down there when you're only eating plantains and rice and beans. You know? And then eventually, all of a sudden, now there's more protein, so you're getting guys like Cologne or the big guy from Cleveland. But he went to the Angels first, so, you know. But most of them were guys like Marichal. Really dapper, smooth, screwball this way, overhand curve, fastball in your kitchen. You know, those were the great pitchers when I grew up. And then the big heavy-set white guys, Garcia, Feller, Lemon, you know, all of them for Cleveland. They were all the last, I guess, 20-game winners until Baltimore, I think. And they go. I like Oakland. I like guys with on-base percentage. I like guys, but I could tell that all along. I knew the guys that take tough pitches, foul off a lot of tough pitches, and hit the ball up the middle. You know, all the great ball players, Roberto Clemente, all of them were like that. You don't have to have a computer to tell you, you know. If you're swinging a lot of first pitches and you're swinging at balls in the dirt, you're not going to go very far. You got to know the strike zone. You have to. I'll tell you a guy, Bill Mack, wouldn't take batting practice. He was hammered. He'd come in, he wouldn't swing at anything, and then I'd throw him a pitch and he'd hit a little flare over first base for a big hit. Second time up, he'd be a little more sober and everything else, and I'd try to jam him, and he'd inside out and hit a gapper in right center field. And I never faced him a third time. Because once he got into a fight out there. He didn't want to get any glass in his eyes. The best, I think, I forget who it was, but he takes his glasses off, he walks out to the mound, he gets out there, the pitcher's gone. He's already walked into the clubhouse. Got the ball sitting right on the rubber. He was furious. He was a great manager. Most people hated him. A lot of people thought he was, you know, he was a rough, tough guy, and but he was the best manager I ever played for. You know, he knew his stuff. He was weak too. I went to the University of Southern California, and we lost to the freaking that one player they had out there in Texas. The guy was an animal, like unbelievable. And it was tough, but we should have had the lead on, and Pete Carroll made a decision to go 4th and 1, and didn't have anyone in the backfield, and it was a bad quarterback sneak. Then we didn't call timeout when the guy's knee hit the ground. We had a few mistakes. Pete Carroll's good friends with my father, my dad, and him. He's a Marine Catholic kid. He's a great guy. He's a great coach, a great motivator and stuff. Yeah, but well, he didn't do a bad job here, really. You think about it, this team's been a growing team. Belichick is a great motivator, and he's a great coach. But when he gives a speech, it's like Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood. You know, it's unbelievable. That's what success is all about. The best coaches that I have known, with the exception of that, you know, Dick Williams, who was just a flaming ass. But he was a great coach. The best coaches are all like Forrest Gump. You know, they're just, everything's simple and easy. You ever read Wooden's book? I read John Wooden's book. Wooden is a fabulous, fabulous coach at UCLA. I mean, here's how you handle a temperamental ball player like me. Bill Walton comes in, right? Bill Walton's been playing for him and stuff, and he comes in one day and he's been limping, his knees hurt. Remember, he had Osgood-Schlatters disease, his knees hurt really bad. He goes, "Coach," he says, "I was reading marijuana's painkiller. I was thinking of using marijuana before the games." And Walton goes, "You know, Bill, I've never heard that marijuana was a painkiller, but I have heard that it is illegal." And that's just how he did it. And Bill Walton comes in, and then he didn't shave for like 10 days during the break and stuff. He comes back and he's got this beard going, and Coach Walton goes, "Bill, did you forget something during the vacation?" "Oh, Coach, you mean the beard?" He goes, "Yeah." He says, "Well, you know, I'm playing hard, and I believe I deserve it. You know, I really do. I think I've earned it, and I would really like to do it. And if Bill goes, Wooden goes, you know, I really like a guy that's got strong convictions and believes in his convictions. I really respect that, and the team is going to miss you. Yeah, and that's how you do it. You got to be smarter than your players. That's not really that hard. And I recommend all you kids, you know, go out there and read Wooden's book and look at Rod Dato. Look him up online. Rod Dato was the Houdini of Bovard. His winning percentage was .699. He won 13 national championships. He won with me in 1968. He called everybody Tiger because he never learned your name. Hey, Tiger, get up. Hey, Tiger, grab your putt. You're going into left field. And you look around, you go, you can't find your glove. He goes, hey, too late. He'll send someone else. You always had to know where your glove was. He had eyes in the back of his head. And he was just a great coach. Just the greatest coach that a guy would ever want to have growing up. And so I was blessed. I was blessed there. I came to SC and took a cut. Came to the Red Sox and took a cut and pay. I ain't kidding. You know? So I was blessed. I got to come out there. And, you know, I knew Casey Stengel. I played on Stengel Field. My mother's from Glendale. Rod Dato, Casey Stengel lived right down the block from one another. So my aunt's in the Hall of Fame. My Aunt Annabelle's the first woman to throw a perfect game. Her jersey hangs in there next to Jackie Robinson. So it's in my family. So I've been blessed like that. Anybody got any questions? Yeah.
Rice, who's short today? Do you think he belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Rice,
Well, he was nicer to people. Do you think he would have win it?
there's a lot of jerks in there. There's Cap Anson, that was a racist and a bigot. There's Ty Cobb, that was really a nasty guy. There's a lot of guys. A guy named Comiskey, who didn't pay his players, and they ended up throwing the season in the Black Sox scandal. He had a pitcher on there that won 29 ball games. He was going to get a $10,000 bonus if he won his 30th game. Didn't pitch him for 5 starts. Didn't give him the money. You wonder why he took the 10 grand from the bookies and stuff. That was the money that was owed him. You know, you look at the game down the line, you got Pete Rose, not allowed to gamble on baseball. He bet on baseball. You know, he bet on everything. He bet on a freaking crow flying off the tree on the way over here on that day. He bet you there were 5,000 crows on this side and 4,800 on this side. I've never seen so many crows. Got to be a lot of dead shit on the road. Jimmy Rice. Jimmy Rice is an asshole. I hate to say it. Well, no. I mean, he was a nasty guy. He was nasty to people. He was nasty. I got stuff I can say that, I can't say it in here. I guarantee I can't say it in here. But I've seen him, you know, and you got to realize you got to be nice to people. I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's a guy who's in the Hall of Fame. He was the best switch hitter I ever saw from Baltimore. You know, but he was nasty and didn't say 5 words to the press. Eddie Murray. Right. You throw a change up to Eddie Murray and leave it up a little bit, and I'm telling you, he'll walk on it. The guy can flat out hit. So, Rice could hit. Rice was a great hitter, but he was a pain in the ass, and his career was cut short. He was the greatest RBI guy for a certain stretch. But the Hall of Fame is a place that you have to have a lot of years of service. You have to put up big numbers, and you have to be lucky. You have to befriend. Look at Bruce Sutter. He got in. You know, here you got. They take the one little skinny white guy, and you got who else? There was Andre Dawson. Look at Andre Dawson's number. You got a lot of guys up there. Dewey's up there. But Dewey had a long career, and he was pretty nice to the press. But Dewey left. See, I don't believe you should ever leave your own ball club and go anywhere for extra money. Johnny Damon, that's the sin of avarice, or there's another word, greed, looking for, you just don't want to go somewhere, 42 million or 52 million. You want to stay in Boston and be a legend, or you want to go to New York and just be another jerk off?
Hey, you get $12 million more dollars.
It's like Fox, He's up there on some horse on 54th Street with all the strippers up there. He got his ring, you look back, Red Sox won it in 1918. They won it in 15, they won it all the way up and down the line. They had a pretty good organization, they did good. And then the general manager ends up going to the Yankees. He takes along Ruth and a few other guys, but it wasn't until 1923 that the Yankees won their first World Championship. On that team, 81 of their wins were by Page, Sam Jones, and the other guy. They were all Red Sox pitchers. So basically, the Yankees are the Red Sox. Which was the Red Sox. So it goes down the line, and they got all those championships, and they had good general managers, and they spent, and the players played harder. DiMaggio and all of them, they played harder because they knew the Red Sox were making more money than they were because Yawkey was overpaying. Yawkey was his own worst enemy back then, He liked to surround himself with big macho home run hitters and stuff like that. And with the first fast guy he gets, he goes out and gets, in 59, he gets Pumpsy Green. He could have had Roberto Clemente, Pee Wee Reese. Who was the skinny kid played with the Giants? Oh, yeah, Willie Mays. We don't want him around. Mickey Higgins didn't want him around here. So the Red Sox, they shot themselves in the foot for a long time. We had to move out of winter day because there was no shade. Yeah, we did have fun. I know, we moved out. I'll tell you, Jim Wright, George Scott, this is the guest, the boomer. We used to go to a place called, what was it? American Legion or one of those halls down there, and they'd have a dinner for us on Saturday. And they'd cook us prime rib or steak like that. But George Scott was never invited, and finally he files a grievance along with Harper and stuff like that. And I go up to George, I said, George, the only way you're going to be served at that place is if you're on the menu. We had a ball team there called the Senior League. I had Bibby on the team. I had Cuellar, myself, Tion. Who else did I have? Big guy. Oh, Ferguson Jenkins. Everything. They said we only drew 240 paper. I said the only way we're going to draw a crowd is if I strip you guys down naked and try to sell you.
Patch, what do you think, Fred?
It's like Builder said. Builder said he can take it from me because Bill, you're the only white guy allowed on the back of the bus. I'll take that. And the hammer's dead, and he won't be saying that anymore. And I take pride in that because I was allowed to do that. And it was that way. Baseball was that way. You had LaFleur, Scott, Cromartie, Dawson, Lee, Valentine. I was like a freaking speck of rice over there. And then over here you had Carter, Parrish, Spire, and all the redneck Bible thumpers over here. That didn't let the white guys. It's me and a guy named Kid Mock. Guinea Mock, great guy, and that's what kept that Expo team together. Plus we had a Lush and Dick Williams drinking all the time. We could get away with hell there because he couldn't see you after the 7th inning. I want to tell you, when Dick Williams got let go in '81, he got canned from McHale, and they brought in Jim Fanning. Fanning lost his first 3 ball games. We called a team meeting, and Cromartie, who hated Dick Williams, goes, Anybody know where Dick lives? I got up and I'm going, you guys are the sorriest sack of shit. Blue Monday. I'm warming up in the bullpen. This is the saddest day. It's actually the last game of my career. Wasn't, but it should have been. I remember we'd already used Fryman. It was a 1-1 ball game. We're in the ninth inning. They bring in our starter, the guy with the pigeon toes. Yeah, Steve Rogers. His legs knocked together, his toes knocked together. The guy was unbelievably pigeon-toed, had a nasty sinker. And, you know, and then he hooked him and hooked him and hooked him. He got him out. And then I guess he got a guy on, 1 out. And all of a sudden, it sort of brings up Rick Monday to pitch hit. And I know, I see it's coming. So I run out of the bullpen. I warm up on my own. I get good and hot. I'm ready to go. Sidearm sinker, slider away. I tap my hat, call. Fanning goes to the mound, looks at me, puts his head down and walks back into the dugout. I don't get in the ball game. First pitch, sinker down the middle. Sayonara, man. Monday hit it 440 feet. We lose. And that was basically my last game of the Explosion. Actually, the next year I went out and I looked on my card because I don't remember that year. I think I was in a coma during the 80s. But I looked at it and I had like 24 innings, had 27 hits. I had 14 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 4.50 ERA in May, and I got released. I remember that. We lost to the Dodgers, and I got released the next day, and that was my last day in a uniform. And I ended up going home and writing letters to the National League to play, because the year before I had a 2.83 ERA, led the team in ERA, and hit 348, led the team in hitting. And as Casey Stengel says, you can look it up. So I write letters to all the general managers in the National League with my great year the year before, and the fact that I only walk 1 guy, I'm throwing strikes. Not too hard, but I'm throwing strikes. And I have a good walk to strikeout relation. I get left-handers out to this day. And I get 1 letter back from Hank Peters of the Montreal Expos. You know what it says? We already got enough problems without an asshole like you. Trouble now. So I ended up going to Venezuela, and I played Venezuela. I played in Puerto Rico, went to Venezuela again. I played in Moncton, New Brunswick. I played for the Longueuil Senators in Quebec. I played for the Sydney Sooners in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I won the Canadian Championships. I lost in '86 to a team I had Matt Stairs, Real Cormier on my team. I had a really good ball club. We went out to Red Deer, Alberta, and we got beat. And I lost to a team called the Windsor Chiefs. Last year, actually it wasn't last year, it was the year before, because I got beat this year. But I went back in the 50 and over World Championships. I went 9 innings in the second game of a doubleheader to beat the Windsor Chiefs 16 years later. And then this year they kicked my ass again. This is a great story. Muggsy Allenson's our coach. He's hurt himself. He went to a chiropractor when a massage therapist, and she stretched him wrong and popped a vertebrae in his back. Now he's almost paralyzed. I'm going, what a jerk. Let a woman bend you backwards like that when she's got her knee in your back. It was like a James Bond movie or something. So he's hurt, and Bill Campbell's on the team. He's kind of hurt, playing shortstop. Soup's on the team. I'm on the team. Rick Miller's in right field, but his wrists are bad. And we're playing this team, the Windsor Chiefs, and they got guys that played ex-big leaguers, guys from Detroit. And I beat them 9 innings the year before. Now we're playing the first game of the playoffs. I come in for our starter. He's actually a kid from Connecticut. What's his name? The 2 of the son, Mackey. Mackey's his name. He's a 50-year-old father. His son is a submarine sinker baller out of Connecticut here. Played a little minor league ball. But anyway, he throws a brilliant game, but he's exhausted. He comes out in the 7th. I come in with bases loaded, 1 out. This big hitter's up, the guy that I hate, named Cooper. He's a left-handed thrower, right-handed hitter. All Canadians are goofy like that. They throw with one hand, they hit with the other. But they're dangerous. They don't. Anyway, I get ahead of him, I throw him a nasty breaking ball. My catcher doesn't catch it, he swings and misses. Runner from third's coming home. Just one of these minor league ballparks, the little spring training ballparks with not too much foul room. So I get home, I'm blocking the plate, he can't get the ball to me, he throws it and tips off my glove. And I deaden it just enough so it stops right on the mound. Here comes the runner from second. He scores 2. Now I got a 1-run lead going in the 8th. Leadoff hitter, throw him a breaking ball, first pitch. Big, strong catcher. Hits it off the end of the bat, little flare over short. Holy cow, now I'm in trouble again. Got the leadoff hit man on. They put a pitcher in to run for him. A skinny guy, good legs, and I know he's dumber than a post. I go up into my stretch. First pitch, I go up, give a good move, look home, boom, I make a perfect pickoff play to first base, right on the bag. I got it by 3 feet. Trouble is, my first baseman's already sprinted into home. I'm looking at him run by me going, there you go, Bill, you got them all. The umpire knew me and stuff, so the guy goes all the way to third. Now I got runner at third, I am runner at third. I strike the next 3 guys out. I get out of the inning, I start off the 9th, I get the first hitter out, I get the second hitter out, now the leadoff hitter's coming up. I get ahead of him 0-2, try to jam him, I hit him on the fist, hits a little flare over third down the line for a single. Next hitter up, number 2 hitter, I jump ahead of him with a fastball, he gets jammed, he hits a little flare, we're tired, falls right behind the second baseman between the right fielder and Rick Miller, center fielder. First and second, 2 outs. Now I got the big hitter. And I'm tired. I mean, I've thrown a lot of innings. So I call Allison out to the mound. I said, Gary, I've gotten this guy out 5 times. I think he's due. I said, why don't you get me out of the ballgame? He goes, what? I've never heard you, Lee, in 35 years beg out of a ballgame. I said, well, I'm not actually begging out. I believe that I can't get him out. I think I've got this premonition he's going to get a base hit. Bullshit. Get him out. He leaves. I go 3-2. Fastball, good sinker. C&I ground ball between third and short. 3-2 pitch, so the runner's running. Tie and run scores. They tie the game up. They bring Campbell in after me. He gives up a first pitch double in the right center field. Game over. Afterwards, Allison says, Lee, I don't know what to think about you. He says, I see you all the time. It's the first time I heard. I don't know what to make out of how you think. I said, Gary, I don't care if you want to know how I think. Just read my lips. Get me out of the ballgame. And that's how I ended the season. Then I played father-son, hit the home runs with my son. So I actually ended the year with a good feeling. But that's the thing in baseball. You kids, don't think out there. Cut your head off, let your body do the work. But eventually, I believe in 2 laws. I believe in the law of gravity and the law of averages. You're eventually going to get people out, and eventually they're going to get you. And a great manager has the foresight to know when that's going to happen. Casey Stengel knew it. Dumber than a post, but he had that. Yogi Berra has that intuition. Rod Dato, my coach at USC. Brady Little doesn't have it. You can't live your life in fear, okay? There's a poem by a guy named Richard Brodigan, famous poet, friend of mine, California hippie. It says, Baldier went to a ball game. He said he had a hot dog and smoked a bowl of opium. He said the Yankees were playing the Detroit Tigers. An angel fell from heaven and crashed into second base. Second base was like a mirror. It cracked the whole infield, and the game was called on account of fear. The game was called on account of fear. See, I read a lot of weird stuff. But you can't live your life in fear like that. And I'll tell you, you're managing like that, you got to manage and stuff. You can't sit on your pockets. And I remember in '75, Darrell Johnson going to the mound and begging Louis Tiant to get the last out. You can get the last out, can't you? Tiant had thrown like 165 pitches in Cincinnati, and he's begging, and all of a sudden he makes a pitch, and the guy cranks it right center field gap for a double, but Freddie Lynn anticipates it, makes a great jump, and catches the ball in the right center field gap against the fence. We win. We live another day, and we come back to Fenway Park for Game 6. That was a great World Series, guys. '75, I got to live in that World Series. So they can't take that away from me, and they can't take 2004 away from me. And thanks for having me, guys. We got any more? We got one more question. Yeah.
Thanks. You came to town last summer and you played in this game at Muzzy Field.
Oh, God.
And I asked you about the casino. You mentioned how the guys did you and pay a bunch of players. Due to that, and it wasn't advertised, any chance of that happening again next summer? Because Muzzy Field, I grew up watching her.
I know. I love that field. Dick McAuliffe hit a 3-run homer the first time I played in an old-timers game there. I had great games. I love that field. I love playing the ball there. I gave this guy Archambault another chance. He had stiffed me. He played a game in Green Bay. He moved there because I guess he got run out of town and had to move to Green Bay, and his wife had problems, heart problems and stuff. So he did a ball game out there, and I played a ball game, and I'm in my uniform, and I'm in the airport transferring to Green Bay, and there's Mick the Quick walking down, and I go, "Oh shit, Mick, you going?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to play in this ball game down there." I said, "Great." So we play in the ball game. I hit a home run. Mick played pretty good, and Archambault sends me the check, $1,100. It bounces. Mickey calls me up, and he goes, "Hey, Bill," he says, "you know that check that Archambault guy sent me?" He says, "You know that check of mine bounced?" I said, "Oh, that's too bad, Mick. Mine didn't." Fuck the Yankees. Sorry about that. No. I like Mick. I do like Mick, but I just, at that time and moment, I did not want him to realize that I'd gotten stiff too. But that's Archambault, but you got to give people chances in life. And I've given him 3. And I guess if he was a felon, he wouldn't be getting out now. But I still believe in giving him a chance, and I would give anybody a chance to put on a game for American Legion and for guys. I do Travis Roy Foundation, the kid who got cross-checked and is paralyzed. A great guy. I do benefit games anywhere, but, you know, me, I have my own bats, so I can sell bats. I am an entrepreneur. I can make money when I need to. Every time I sign my name, they give me an Andrew Jackson. It's like, darn, hope my arm doesn't fall off. But it's like that. It's life like that. And I'm blessed, and a lot of people aren't blessed. But I like to bring baseball to areas and play those ball games. And I like to play against father and son teams with their kids playing and their aunts playing. And I like that mentality now. And I'll do it again. And I'm not worried about that. I feel bad for Joe Archambault, you know. But the funny thing is, when he did this game, this is funny. He's a big, heavy-set kid, pretty coordinated, higher opinion of himself than he really has. But he goes out in Green Bay, Wisconsin, puts himself in the lineup, and hits a home run. I'm going, wow. I've never seen a promoter come into it. It's like Don King coming in and landing a left hook. Just can't believe it. But baseball's like that. You guys got, I heard about the coach here. You got great winning record. Baseball will go on. And it'll go on after me and everything else. But you can't hold guys down for being different. You know, Wooden handled all his players. He said the key to coaching is treat everybody as an individual. Don't treat them all the same. And the key to know the difference and stuff. Some guys you can whip, some guys you got to hand right. Some guys you got to really model coddling and stuff like that. Not everybody had the same upbringing. You can't treat everybody the same. I'm a fantasy camp. I do the fantasy camp. I got guys that'll light themselves on fire and run through the wall for me. You know, and that's a great feeling to have that as a coach. I give him lighter fluid. And tell him. I saw Doug Rader do that once, and he went out. I know, I ain't going to tell him. Doug Rader was the manager of the Houston Astros, and they called me crazy. You know, I mean, I can tell you stuff that would make your priest blush. So, anyway, one more question, and I'm way in the back, huh? Oh, Diane, we have the old bat company. We're online. A lot of guys here have the bats. We're staying over at Bradley Airport. You know, a bunch of us are going back there and having a cocktail. If I can get out of here in 4 minutes. Not that I'm counting, but I'm very flattered. I'm very flattered that I spoke here in 1975. You know, and now you see what a guy looks like after 30,000 beers. So I can still pitch, and you know, we'll see. We'll see if I can still pitch. This is my 59th year of pitching, and actually I took the first 4 off. I didn't throw my first 4 years. They didn't give me a ball till I was 5, and I'll tell you, kids, they say, when can you start throwing a curveball? My Aunt Turk taught me a 12 to 6 curveball when I was 6 years old, and I've had it ever since. And I can get it out here and bring it straight down, and I never hurt my elbow. I've never hurt my elbow throwing a curveball. You know who told you a curveball will hurt your arm? An orthopedic surgeon. You know why he told you that? Because he can't hit a curveball.
That's it, folks.